This right here is the final patch piece for the bus. And if you want to know how I got this piece, make sure to check out the previous episode up here. And for those of you saying I should have just bought it from an online store, they don't make this part reproduction. I don't know if they ever did, but it's not available anywhere. So I had to get it myself. And I know it doesn't look very good right now, but we're gonna get it all cleaned up and make this 40-plus-year-old piece look like new so that we could cut it down to shape and then use it to replace the rust on the bus. So let's get right to it. For those of you who are already familiar with the channel, you know my obsession with aircraft stripper. And I'm gonna clean this up a little bit to make sure that it's not working extra hard when it doesn't need to. So I get any paint that's left on this off and then have it down to bare metal. I want it to look brand new before we get it in the bus. That way, there's no rust welded onto the bus. We'll start off by scuffing it up with some red Scotch-Brite just to make sure there's no dirt. And then we'll just coat it and see how it does. You can already see just with a little bit of Scotch-Brite, the piece is actually not rusty at all. We're gonna go ahead and pop out these bungs that are actually access points for wax oil. Don't forget to wax oil your bus. And then we're gonna put aircraft stripper on it and leave it overnight and see how it does. Now we'll just let that sit in the garage, and tomorrow we'll hopefully get it all cleaned up, cut it, and weld it in. So it looks like the aircraft stripper has done what it's going to do, so we're gonna go ahead and scrape it off and then move on to wire wheeling the rest. Oh, that stank real good. We're gonna go ahead and take this outside, spray it down with some water and neutralize it. And then I guess we'll wire wheel whatever we got to and cut it to size. So we're left with a couple spots of surface rust, but nothing bad at all. And it actually is turning out to be a really good piece of replacement metal. As you can see, even after wire wheeling it, there are some spots that have some surface rust that hasn't been dealt with. So I've got the final tool in my arsenal, which is the good old Ospho in a spray bottle. So we're just gonna spray this down with some Ospho, let it neutralize the rust in its chemical reaction ways, and then we're gonna wipe all that off and see what we're left with. You can see that as I'm spraying it, the I love sports. The spots with rust start to get darker, and that's a good thing. That means it's working. We'll let that sit for a little while and come back and hit it with a polycarbide disc. It has sat for about 30 minutes with the Ospho and it's already looking pretty good. But now it's time to hit it with the polycarbide disc and it should be looking good as new. As you all can see, it is already looking quite beautiful. There are no more black pits of rust. So we'll go ahead and sand it down with some 40 grit so it'll be ready for epoxy primer once it's welded in. And then we'll be ready to cut it up and weld it into place. I'm excited. I'm glad with what it's looking like. I don't even know what I'm saying. Did I not tell you that we would have this looking brand new? I should have a side-by-side. One of the pluses of having a rotisserie is being able to do this. And if you're interested in seeing how I built this rotisserie, the plans and the build are on this channel on the link above. With all of that cut out, you can see the crusties here. That's just that foam backer they had between the outer skin and that inner fender piece. to hold them together and prevent oil canning. So we're gonna scrape all this off, clean up the inside of this so that once it's welded from the outside, we know it's not gonna rust through again. And then we'll go ahead and cut our patch piece and start fitting it, which is gonna be the fun part. We'll go ahead and give this inner wheel well area the good old Ospho treatment. Wear a mask. And while that's drying, we can start cutting out of our new, or well, refurbished inner fender. What we'll do here is use our cut off scrap piece to kind of line it up and template exactly where we need to cut, at least as far as the sides and the bottom. And then the top, which doesn't really exist, we might have to make it up as we go. Wear gloves. So I won't show you the injury because of YouTube guidelines, but make sure you wear gloves. Sometimes when I get in a rush, I don't put them on, and obviously, bad idea. So yeah, wear gloves. Tools are dangerous. And a hat, so your hair doesn't get caught in power tools. If you like what you're seeing so far and you'd like to follow along on this journey of the restoration of my 1973 VW bus, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And one of the best ways that you can help support the channel is leaving a comment down below, as it helps push the video in the algorithm and I respond to as many comments as possible. I'd also like to take this time to thank my Patreons for their continued support. We've got Kris Crawford, Leonard Iberline, Paul Gordon, Saul and 12, Ian Larson, Cesare, Jeffrey Carney, Steven Stallcup, Jared Dale, and Brandon Dodson and Ashley Blaze, who also has a YouTube channel called Brandon's Bus, where he's restoring his Brazilian VW split window, so go check that out if you like this kind of content. And a big shout out to all of you who have joined me from the beginning of this journey and have been commenting along the way. I do appreciate it, and I hope you guys see it to the end with me. Where Volkswagen used that little foam stuff, we're just gonna use some gray seam sealer and we're gonna spread it on nice and thick. We've got both sides with zinc weld through primer, and we're gonna go ahead and slather it. Get a nice thick coat on here. And then in here, up to where, I don't know. You can't add more later. That's definitely way too much, which is exactly what I want. All right, we'll lay that in there. Oh. I like this little finger hole I could use to pull it up and down. We measured a fuck ton of times and still fucked up. Oh, it's still good. Yeah. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah. It's a little campfire in there. Oh, shit. Oh, it's big. Yeah. It's big. I don't know, I can't see it. It looks lit up in there, though. I don't see any more smoke, so. There's no gas tank in here, so. Blow her out, blow her out.
On fire?
Can't tell. Woo!
Good?
I think it's good. It's smoking a lot. For the last 30 minutes, Avery's had to be down there blowing out fires. Almost got it welded up all the way around. Gonna have to give it a go grind down, then some more welding. Then we'll be done. Finally. What is essentially left to do now is just fill in all the holes that are left from grinding of all the weld spots that I missed, and then hit it again with some grinding and sand it down. But moving the camera and recording all that was gonna take me forever, and I need to finish this video so you guys get the idea. Welding, grinding, and now you're gonna see the finished product. As you all can see, the repair is complete. Of course, there is this little corner section still needs to be done, but I'll kind of go over that a little bit quicker in the next episode so that we can move on to more repairs and not focus too much on just one little section. But I hope you guys have learned something from this episode. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah.